Hello, I'm here to introduce you guys to an artist named Paul Klee. Paul Klee was born in Switzerland in 1879. He loved teaching and all kinds of art, music, writing, and painting, and even more. He actually grew up in a musical family before he grew up and decided he wanted to do more painting and artwork. His art is filled with bright colors, and some of it is abstract, which means it doesn't look like what it does in real life. It's full of shapes and colors instead. He also loved cats, and he painted and had many cats. Soon, he and his artist friends decided that they didn't want to just make their paintings look like photographs or copies of the real world. They wanted to use colors and shapes to give people feeling and emotions by being abstract. Paul Klee specifically used chalk, paint, and even crayons to make bright, glowing colors and give his paintings a sense of feeling. Paul Klee made paintings for his entire life. When he died in 1940, when he was 60 years old, he left behind at least 8,926 artworks.
Hello friends! So today what we are going to do is we are going to do an artist study. And who is the artist that we are imitating today? Yes, just like you guys guessed, it is Paul Klee. So you guys just saw some of Paul Klee's art and his art style, right? Paul Klee didn't believe in copying things exactly as you saw it, because he thought that is what photographs are for. So his art doesn't look, it's almost like an abstract art. So let's see one of his before let's we see what we are going to do. Let's go through the materials that we need for today. We need crayons, we need a paper. We are just using half a sheet of paper. We need watercolors, because we are using watercolor. We need water, and we need pencil, eraser, and we are going to use a whiteboard or a scrap paper to practice draw. So these are the supplies that we need. Now, the name of the art that we are imitating, it's called language with yellow birds. Let me write it down so you guys can see. Language . There is language. What is there is language? Just have I don't know. This is what I see for the title. This is how it is spelled, with yellow birds. This is the name of the art that we are imitating. So if you want to see, you can Google it up. Okay. So let's see how we are going to draw the thing. So we are going to draw the plants and stuff, like more like abstract. Okay, so excuse me. So this is almost the same style of Henry Matisse also. So let's see. I'll show you a few ways you can draw the plants. So this can you see the shape? What shape is this? It's like a football shape. How do we get that shape? You put a C, a backward C, and you get that. So you can put multiple leaves like that, and then you get a plant. So that is the first plant that I see. The next one, it is more like a coral, underwater coral. So it's like this. Okay, so it's like U connected. Can you see? U, then another. So you will make a U, and then make a U, and then make a. So this is an upside down U. Then you make a U go up. So this is another U. Can you see? this is a U upside down. Then you make a right side U, then connect it to another U like that. Then there is a multiple of this, so you can just go like that. And then some are like this, like a crescent shape. So how do we make a crescent shape? It's a backwards C, and then like that. You see? So these are also there. So these are the shapes that you need to know. And then there are some circles that we'll be putting in random places. And then, of course, the birds. Birds look so beautiful. So I'm just erasing these. And so the birds, how did he draw the birds? So let's try one of the birds. So started with a C. Okay. And then, so it's like connected the C, then made a beak. Okay. Then that is the head. And he made a line like that downwards, like that. Okay. And then you make a triangle like this. Triangle, and then there's the tail. The bird is looking this way. That is one way you can draw a bird. Another way he has done this bird is line this way, the neck, a C, then the like that, then the beak. Okay, so another bird. So this the same way you can draw a bird here also. All right, so that's two different ways. I showed you three ways you are going to draw the birds. Okay, so now let's see how we are going to draw this. Okay, so let's take the paper, right, and then we're going to put the paper in the landscape style. We are going to start with one of the plants that I showed. Okay, it can be that football shaped plant or the hand shaped plant or the coral shaped plant, whatever it is. So I'm going to start with the football shaped one. Okay, then I'm going to make a coral shaped one. Can you guys see this? Or maybe I'll do this with the marker so you guys can see. So I'm going to draw all this with the permanent marker. Don't use the regular marker because we are going to paint over it with watercolor. Okay. So if you want, you can use a black crayon. So I made the football shaped plant. Then okay, then I'm going to make the what is a crescent shaped there is one here. Okay, and this is almost touching this plant. I don't know whether it is growing out of this plant. Then this thing is there. Another coral shaped thing. This. Then there are some circles, and then the rest are the birds. So the circle you can draw freehand, or you can use the cap. Excuse me. I'm going to draw a freehand circle. Okay. Another small circle. Another small one here. Okay, so now let's draw the birds. So the birds are sitting on these things. So the birds are tiny. So should I be, maybe I'll draw the birds with the crayon. So these are yellow birds, right? So I'm going to take yellow crayons. Take the nice pointy crayon, and then I'm going to draw the birds. So you need to press down the crayon really well. So start with the head, like and then draw the body and the tail. You may not be able to see it really well, but once we paint on it, you will be able to see it. Put the beak also. I'm going to put a dot for the eyes with black. Maybe I'll outline the thing so you can see how big it is. Okay, now let me draw another bird. Maybe sitting on this one. This time it is facing this way. Press down the crayon really well. The head, head, the neck, the tummy, and the tail, and the beak. Now I'm outlining it, then the beak, the head like a circle, then like that, and then like this. Okay. One bird. So there was, what? Why is my throat so scratchy today? I'm going to put a bird on top of this one. The head, the beak, the neck, the tail, the eyes. So we have a few birds. So he also have two birds like hanging upside down from the clouds, or what, I don't know what it is. Okay, so I'm just leaving that right now because I haven't drawn anything over here. Next thing that we need to do is we need to color the cloud and rest of the stuff. Okay, so for coloring purpose, I'm taking my old set of crayons. It doesn't have to be pointy, so I'm just taking this, and then I'm going to color the plants. So the plants, from the picture that you saw of what Paul Klee has done, the plants are, some are really colorful, some are just blue and white and blue. Okay, so I'm going to take blue. Maybe I'll first do the ones that are blue and white. Okay, so what I'm going to do is first I'm coloring the the circle. So you need to press the crayon really well. Otherwise, when you paint on top of this, it's not going to show as white. The same thing with these, with the crescent shape things. I'm going to color, press this really well and then color. So what Paul Klee believed is, he believed that everything can be done using simple shapes. That's why he has used simple shapes like this to draw this birds and things, the plants and stuff. Okay, and in some of this is other thing is, he believed that he liked the way how kids draw, like the coloring, how they color, the kids color, the way the kids draw and color, that is a very cheerful or a very pleasant way an art can be done, right? So he used to imitate that quality of kids. So when you look at the art done by Paul Klee, you may think, okay, is this done by an adult or by a kid? Because his art has a childlike look also. So, and now some of these also are a little bit white and a mix of other color. So I'm just going to put some here. He used to like to use different mediums, as you guys were told. He used to even use crayons or paint or chalk. So let's see what will happen when we put crayons and watercolor together. You guys know, because we have done that before, right? Now I'm going to put this away. I'm going to put some blue in between these. Try not to go outside the lines. This one is a bit blue. Maybe you can use any color that you want, okay, for the plants. But you guys, are you going to use white in the places where I used white? In other places, if you want to put a different color than this, you can go ahead and do that. I'm just imitating Paul Klee. Now you may be wondering why we need to imitate an artist. Why do we do that? We imitate artists because that is a way to learn new techniques to do art. Okay, so any wannabe artist, what they do is they first imitate other artists. They practice what the other artists have done, and then after imitating an artist, like different artists, you would you may like some ways one artist does something, and you may like what another artist have done in some places, and then you may mix those two styles and come up with your own style. That's what usually artists do. They take one style because they would be like, they like that particular artist style. They take that person's style, and then they take another person's style, and then they mix it up, or they come up with their own style, and then they mix all the styles together and they come up with a new style. So that's the reason why we are doing this. Sometimes kids say, oh, it is so boring to imitate someone. I don't particularly like this style. But there is always something new to learn from all these styles. So what I suggest is, even if you don't like something, you better try. It's like trying a new food or something. Sometimes you may not, when you hear the name or from the look, you may not like it. But after you try it, sometimes you end up being a biggest fan of that thing, right? So let's try this. One of the circles, I'm going to put purple. This one, I'm going to put orange. This one we colored it white, right? This one was also colored white. Maybe I'll put a little bit of this blue. See that you don't go outside the lines, okay? So Paul Klee believed that you can do anything with just lines and shapes and colors. So that's what we are doing. We are taking help of shapes and lines to create a beauty. And he believed anything can be done using symbols, shapes, and style, colors. So now let's color the cloud. So cloud is like up there, like that. I'll put some white also on top. There is a bird upside down here, and one not upside down, up here, sitting here. So maybe we'll imitate that bird. I don't know how that bird is sitting upside down there. Maybe. Okay, so here, I guess. Oh, I find it so difficult to draw something upside down. Maybe I should turn it around and draw it the right side way. I don't know. Learning to draw something upside down is the best method to learn to draw it seems, because that way you are only seeing the shapes. You are not seeing the things as it is. So you will be looking at the shapes and drawing. I think I was okay. So now what we'll do is we are going to use watercolor and paint over this, okay? There's actually some more red and leaves in the back, so let's put that also. Just like oval shaped blobs in the behind these. There was also one more type of plant in there, but let's just focus on these. So now we are going to take our color. So we are going to use two colors today. One, we haven't used it yet, black and blue. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put a drop or 3 drops in blue and 3 drops in black. So far we haven't used black, right? Now we need to tickle our black, no, not black, what color is this? Blue, to wake the color up. See that you're holding your brush in the right way. Hold it above the metal part, okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just color the cloud. You can go over this thing, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, whether it's a plant or something. He was telling us. Okay, now let's go over I'm dipping my brush in water because I don't want it to be dark. Going over the moon or the white thing there. In between, when my brush is dry, just take a dip in water. I'm going to go over all this with blue. So the blue will get into spaces that the crayon didn't get. So if the crayon didn't go in that space, this blue paint will get into that space. So this can be done lightly. I'm just dipping in water and then just swirling in the light. One swirl or just dipping in the blue paint is enough. You don't have to use a lot of black, blue, because we'll be painting over this with black. And see, I'm not going back where I had painted before. I'm only painting places where I didn't paint before, because I don't want the paper to be too wet. The reason is we are going to paint over this with black. If the paper is too wet, it's going to rip the paper, or you'll have to wait for the paper to dry before you go with on top of it with black. So the blue is done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit more dark. So for that, I'm going to put it in black and then go over this. Lightly. You don't have to go on top of the plants though. You just stay where this part where there is no crayon. Keep in mind that don't go on inside any shape, just outside. If some water gets into the other thing, you can just blend it lightly, okay? So this part of the cloud, I'm going to leave it blue. Okay, I'm not going way up, just maybe it's the moon shining that is making that part lighter. The bottom part, you see more of it as black. then this part, the bottom here. So I'm going to put some black. See? And we are done. Okay, so what is this picture of Paul Klee? What painting of Paul Klee did we imitate? We imitated language with the yellow birds. We have so many yellow birds on a paper, and then we have the plants also with the moon shining, right? So, and I said you could have used any color for the plants. That was up to you, but the birds have to be yellow. So hope you guys had fun doing this art with me. You guys need to write your name once this paper is dry on the right hand corner, and then what you'll do is you will email me this in the email ID that I put at the end of the video. When you're done with your painting, I also want you guys to wash your brush. So when you wash, you just sweep the floor. The bristles should be touching the floor of the container, and then you do that a few times, and then you wipe it on the rim, and then maybe you can use a paper towel to wipe this, and then you will put it over here to dry. Wait for the thing to dry before you close this. Okay, so till we meet next week, bye bye.